How would you describe Margaret Sanger's so-called Negro Project?
The Negro Project was to bring these birth control and other eugenic measures into the Black community.
This film, Little Woods, that I have coming out this year is really exciting to me. It talks about the access to reproductive health in this country. And Planned Parenthood was so kind in helping us sort of do that research. And it started with this idea, the writer-director Nia DaCosta, of looking at the country.
So for my donation, I get a water bottle and a Frisbee.
That is awesome. Go Hillary!
Yeah, I know. Thank you. How about, while that's cooking, you and I just take 15 minutes and hop on a Planned Parenthood phone bank and make them some money?
Terminating my pregnancy was one of the hardest decisions I've ever had to make, but I still feel like it was the right decision for me. I went out on faith and I took a step with my own 2 feet to do something for myself instead of focusing on the needs of everyone else. I feel strong, I feel empowered, and I know that in the future I will make the right decisions for me and my daughter, no matter what life might throw at me.
Now, one of the very important strands of modern progressivism, the idea of eugenics, who is the figure that comes to mind who embodies this?
I mean, the obvious answer to the question is Margaret Sanger.
Thank you for coming. Thank you. I'm Margaret Sanger.
Margaret Sanger is the founder of Planned Parenthood.
Hello.
In the mid-1920s, Margaret Sanger spoke to a group that came to hear her in full regalia.
Eugenics means the release and cultivation of the better racial elements in our society, and the gradual suppression, elimination, and eventual extirpation of defective stocks, those human weeds which threaten the blooming of the finest flowers of American civilization. The most merciful thing that a large family does to one of its infant members is to kill it.
By Sanger's time, techniques of racial elimination like lynching had become taboo within the Democratic Party. And so Sanger pioneered a different approach to bring about a similar result.
When Governor Brian Kemp signed the bill banning abortions after 6 weeks, Hollywood pushed back. Many major studios and networks said they may leave if the bill becomes law in January.
I admire Margaret Sanger enormously. I am really in awe of her. And there are a lot of lessons that we can learn from her life and from the cause she launched and fought for and sacrificed so greatly.
It's very clear that for women of color, Planned Parenthood is the go-to place.
If you're one of those people that you got problem with black people or whatever, you better shut your mouth, because they're God's people. You better hear what I'm saying to you. You better shut your white mouth. You better shut your white mouth. I'm not kidding you.
The vast majority of Planned Parenthood clinics are located in our neighborhoods. We were tricked through a slick marketing campaign, but now that that's unraveling, people are saying, wait a minute, they sell baby parts?
We find answers in the 28th chapter of the book of Deuteronomy. After being delivered from slavery in Egypt, the children of Israel entered into a covenant with God. If they kept the commandments, they would be blessed.
And all these blessings shall come on thee, and overtake thee, if thou shalt hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
But if they broke them, they would be cursed.
But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
and would be scattered throughout the four corners of the earth.
And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people, from the one end of the earth even unto the other. And there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone.
They would go into slavery on ships.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again.
Now let me say something right quick. I think back on the African American people in America. I think how that they were taken against their wills, put in the belly of ships, brought over here, beat, cussed. Many of them died in the guts of those ships, thrown overboard. They were pulled from families over there.
And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen. And no man shall buy you.
And their enemies would put yokes of iron on their necks.
Because thou servedst not the Lord thy God with joyfulness and with gladness of heart for the abundance of all things, therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger, and in thirst, and in nakedness, and in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. Then men shall say, because they have forsaken the covenant of the Lord God of their fathers, which he made with them when he brought them forth out of the land of Egypt. For they went and served other gods, and worshipped them, gods whom they knew not, and whom he had not given unto them. And the anger of the Lord was kindled against this land to bring upon it all the curses that are written in this book. And the Lord rooted them out of their land in anger, and in wrath, and in great indignation, and cast them into another land, as it is this day.
The Luciferian occult brotherhoods know that as long as the children of Israel are in sin, they will remain under the curses and perpetual bondage. That's why sin and all manner of degenerate behavior is promoted even more intensely to the so-called African American community.
Hi, Shalom, Shalom from Israel. This is Ola, the daughter of Jethro. And I just heard that you black people that was stolen from Africa to America, that you don't know who you are, but you are the children of Yahweh, the children of Israel. And I'm telling you, you have to come back to your homeland, here to Zion, to Jerusalem, because us the Gentiles, we do need you. We need you to come and pray, because you are our saviors. You're the one that was chosen by Yahweh to live in this land, not the Jewish people, it's you. You were stolen from Africa, they deceived you, they told you that you are slaves, but you actually the children of Israel. And it's time just to come back. Come for your people, come back for us, come back for the whole Gentiles, because only you gonna save us. So please come back to Zion.
The cult of Bacchus has tormented the Israelites for over 2,000 years.
On the monthly celebration of the king's birthday, the Jews were taken under bitter constraint to partake in the sacrifices. And when the feast of Dionysus came, they were compelled to walk in the procession in honor of Dionysus, wearing wreaths of ivy.
A global conspiracy is recorded in the Bible. A satanic cabal has conspired to destroy the children of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. They are confederate against thee. They are confederate against thee.
Now therefore, my master and Lord, If there is any unwitting error in this people, and they sin against their God, and we find out their offenses, then we will go up and defeat them. But if there is no transgression in their nation, then let my Lord pass them by, for their Lord will defend them, and their God will protect them, and we shall be put to shame before the whole world.
God's kingdom will not be established here on earth until the nation of Israel forsakes all idolatry and returns to the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
My son, if you come to serve Yahuwah, prepare your soul for temptation. Set your heart aright, and constantly endure. Make not haste in time of trouble. Cleave unto him, and depart not away, that you mayest be increased at your end. Whatsoever is brought upon you, take it cheerfully, and be patient when you are changed to low estate. For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable of men in the furnace of adversity. Believe in him, and he will help you. Order your way aright, and trust in him. You that fear Yahuwah, wait for his mercy, and go not aside, lest you fall. You that fear Yahuwah, believe him, and your reward shall not fail. You that fear Yahuwah, hope for good, and for everlasting joy and mercy. Look at the generation of old, and see, did ever any trust in Yahuwah, and was confounded? Or did any abide in his fear, and was forsaken? Or whom did he ever despise that called upon his name? For Yahuwah is full of compassion and mercy, long-suffering, and very pitiful, and forgiving sins, and saveth in time of affliction.
I know some of you was raised in the deep south, and you was raised by prejudiced people and bigoted people. You better get that out of your system. You better get it out of your system. It'll cause you to suffer right along with those masters. It'll cause you to suffer right along with them. These are God's people. And I know that there's wicked in white races and wicked in black races and all that. I'm not justifying none of that stuff. I'm just saying God knows what happened to the black race. He knows how they wound up over here, and God is going to reimburse the black people for all their trouble and all their labor. You watch what I tell you. Watch what I tell you. Listen.